the minute you stop doing things, what was our word last year? But what? Kienyeji? Then, you start to attract these people. And when you attract them, impactful things will happen. They need to start aligning their values with certain brands that they want to. There are certain brands that can easily pick you up as an athlete, right? If today I'd have to give you hundreds of millions, it becomes easier for me to go back to the board and tell the board, you know what, I spent a quarter of $1 billion here, and this is the ROI that we're going to get, or this is the ROI that we've got. I mean, these people are spending money on you. The least you can do is give them visibility.
Ladies, gentlemen, and sports enthusiasts, we'd like to welcome you to the first ever episode in Wima Sports podcast this year. Allow me to start just by saying Happy New Year to you all, and wish you all a Happy New Year and all the best in this year 2025. Indeed, we have a lot aligned for us and aligned for you all. And today is a repeat guest, and it's a great honor having him again. If someone comes twice in your show, you get to know they bring value. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome Joe.
Thank you very much, Jamin. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to the viewers. Here's to a great year. And a wonderful sporting, successful year.
Yeah. Probably before we dive into the game changer, and indeed, you are a game changer. I know you're a humble man and you don't like blowing the whistle. You've done a lot, guys, in the sportsing industry. You know how much you've done with Cabras when you were at Cabras Sugar, and how much you elevated sports with the Rai family. Amongst all, I can go on and on and on. But before we go further, what would you like our viewers to learn from this today?
Interesting. First of all, thank you for the accolades. I think, it's not me. It was the team.
Yes.
And myself, and like you rightfully mentioned, the management that I was working with at the time that were doing the sports campaigns. So to delve into your question, what would I want, or what would I love for the viewers to pick from this? Do you call it show, podcast? Do you call it
series, podcast, episode?
So, the one thing would be, if you could take anything home, take how to elevate your what? How do you elevate your worth as a brand? Remember, on the last episode, we said any athlete is a brand, any team is a brand. So how do you elevate yourself as a brand or as a product? Yes.
And indeed, you've been in the sporting world. You've participated actively. You still do. Though you mentioned you're slightly retiring.
Yeah,
now.
the white hair is forcing me to
step out.
Just step back, not step out. Step back and let the Gen Zs. Take over.
How has this being in sports, shaped your approach in sports marketing?
I think it gives you a perspective or a POV that other decision makers wouldn't have, right? So I've been in sports. I've been a player, right? I've kind of run a team, so I know where the pain points are. I know what brands or what corporates are looking for. I know what lingo, what nuances they want to hear, and I also know on this other side what we are capable of, and like I mentioned, what our pain points are. So it makes it easier to marry those two and be able to give out or churn out a proper pitch or a proper proposal to a brand or corporate entity.
Yeah, and as we continue this conversation, we are starting 2025, if we can do just a quick review of 2024 in regards to the sporting world and sports marketing.
Yes.
We hosted a couple of top events. The Safari Rally, there is the CAF games that we are supposed to host.
Yes.
There's the triathlon event that happened in Eldoret that was also a global event. Keep Keino Classic, amongst others. What can you say about 2024, just in a quick review of it, and how much has grown, how much sports marketing has grown in that? Yeah.
Funny you forgot to mention basketball and Road to Ball.
Yes.
And we play basketball.
And we play basketball. Yes.
We are fans of basketball. So yes, 2024 was a huge year for sports and sports marketing, because what we discussed in 2023, we actually got to saw it happen in 2024. I mean, some of it happened in 2024, and that was a beautiful thing. More and more corporates or more and more brands started partnering with sports athletes and sports teams or sports clubs, and that was beautiful to watch. Back to Road to Ball. The journey that Nairobi City Thunder took, from when they were just a simple community club or self-sponsored club, we call it down at Nyayo, to them, attracting an investor, and the investor bringing this financial muscle, and them, professionalizing the club into them attracting sponsors. I mean, that was beautiful, right? And it just amplifies, or it just underscores what we said. The minute you stop doing things, what was our word last year, but what? Kienyeji?
Kienyeji.
Then, you start to attract these people. And when you attract them, impactful things will happen. And we saw that the whole of last year, not only in basketball, like you've mentioned, but also in all these other disciplines. Rugby.
Yes.
Safaricom gave, I think, hundreds of millions. Let me not mention a figure. I mean, it's a ballpark figure.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions. The huge betting company, hundreds of millions. So last year was a very good year for sports. Hopefully we continue with that into this year.
Yeah. What are some of the room of improvements that you'd like to see come in play, specifically with athletes getting to prepare or grow themselves into brands that can get to attract now other corporate brands individually and also as team? What are some of the improvements?
Okay, so there's always room for improvement anywhere in anything. The one thing that I'd like to see with happening with our players or athletes is, them working on their personal, branding, right? They need to start aligning their values with certain brands that they want to, there are certain brands that can easily pick you up as an athlete, right? This is a protein shake, this is bio, it can easily take up an athlete, right? Water, energy drinks. Those are brands that can easily pick up an athlete. But then they end up not picking them because, they've not really showcased their value to these brands, apart from just playing, right? In terms of teams, I think we spoke this in depth last time. Work on your offering, right? Work on your whole product. Remember, as a team, you're still a product. To any corporate entity out there, you're a product that they'd want to partner with. So work towards being a product that, if today I'd have to give you hundreds of millions, it becomes easier for me to go back to the board and tell the board, you know what, I spent quarter of a billion here, and this is the ROI that we're going to get, or this is the ROI that we've got, right? Yes.
And speaking of teams, before we let go of that, we saw lots of impact in the 2023 episode that we had together. How did you feel seeing what some of the things that we were talking about come to play in regards to how teams, started to having their brand visible with banners up and all some of these things? How did that make you feel?
It was surreal in this sense that, and I think I remember we had a conversation around that.
Yeah.
It's always good to see that people are listening to what you're saying, number one, and not only listening but going further to execute or try and implement what you talked about. So it was great to see teams putting up their corporate partners' banners up. I mean, these people are spending money on you. The least you can do is give them visibility. You understand? Again, I will not stop saying this. And when I see something good, I'll always call it out. NCT, Nairobi City Thunder, during their training sessions, you could see the players taking bio, this protein shake, and it was beautiful to see, because then it's easier for the bio marketing team to go back and say, you know what, this is a post that was put on maybe Nairobi City Thunder's socials, and this is the impressions that it got. So ideally through that, this is the visibility that we got. I mean, you're growing your brand awareness for, not your brand awareness, but the brand awareness for the partner that you're working with, which is what they usually want to see.
Yeah.
There's lots of questions that come up, in regards to athletes. They kind of ask, okay, how do I, they say, athletes, you need to step up and grow your brand. How do I grow my brand? So how can you answer that question to someone who would like to ask, how do I grow my brand to attract sponsorship? Because that's also an extra income that will enable an athlete to be able to take care of themselves, take care of their nutrition, take care of all these other things to give them a competitive edge globally. So how can an athlete grow their brand?
So before I answer that, I want to flip this.
Yes.
You've asked me a question before, in terms of what I thought of or what I felt, when we saw the things we discussed in our last episode, being implemented. So can I throw the same question back at you?
Yes.
I'm taking over the interview. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, so you answer that as well before I answer the question on personal branding. Yeah.
I was first I felt good because our goal as Wima Sports is to champion sports development, and championing sports development, you're doing it in different aspects, athletes, the entire spectrum of the entire the sports chart from top to bottom. So sports cannot grow without money, and money comes in through sponsorships, and so it was a huge fulfillment when I got to see that, guys actually listening to what we've been talking about, guys actually implementing, and I really felt so great. And even when I see other guys come up, this thing is working, let's start our own. So people are also getting to start more and more and more sporting podcasts and all that.
Yes, there's that as well.
Yes. So I don't feel like threatened.
This is competition.
Yeah, I don't feel that type of way because sports is huge, you know.
Yeah.
The cake is huge enough for everyone.
Yeah.
So I felt
And
so
we've
good.
not even touched the cake. We are just at the icing.
Not-
Just licking the icing like a piece.
Not yet. Not yet.
I know.
Yeah. So it really felt awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. True. No, yeah. Kudos.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So to answer your question, you asked me, so how do athletes grow their value? In a nutshell, that's what you asked.
Yes. Yes.
You know, to a point where they can attract the big bucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Attract and sustain.
and retain, okay.
And retain or sustain, yeah.
One, your values. As an individual, as a brand, as a player, as an athlete, your character, right? Your social media presence, because any marketer will tell you, okay, there's this thing we do as marketers. You know, an agency or somebody, you know, suggests, can we use this influencer? Influencer marketing is big today. So can we use this influencer? The first thing we usually do, I think most of us usually do, is we go online, open his or her Facebook page or IG page or TikTok or whatever, the main socials, and see their following, right? So that's one place where you could work on that a lot of us are failing at. So, you know, work on your values, work on your character, work on your social media presence, right? Because that's one of the easiest ways for brands to realize their ROI. Also, like I mentioned before, try and build your brand around certain brands that automatically thinking of sports, right? We saw, like you mentioned, last year was huge for sports. We saw a couple of athletes being given a partnership with certain big brands. The fastest man in Africa, I think, got a partnership with one of the big auto makers in the world, right?
Yeah.
Recently, he posted a photo of his new LC 250 with customized plates. That's an athlete. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
The same way you and I go to the basketball court and break a sweat, it's the same way he goes to the track and, you know, break a sweat. It's just that he's faster than us. And you know, do these things and be smart about it. You know, target brands, build your brand around brands that will automatically pick up sports and sports personalities. Yeah.
So what are the long-term, you know, benefits? What are the long-term benefits of sports marketing versus, you know, the short-term campaigns? I know you guys have the short-term, long-term. So what are some of the things you look at, you know?
So short-term, you grow your brand awareness in terms of sports marketing, right?
Yeah.
So short-term, I'm going to be able to push my brand awareness, my brand love, my brand, all that. You're growing that, you're driving that by partnering with any sports team. Because most of the fans, like we said, fans are from today. A 4-year-old is going to tell you, oh, Man City, Man U, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham. I hope I've mentioned all the top whatever, so I don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Or they're going to tell you Lakers, Miami, Celtics, blah, 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 da, da, da. Come back to Kenya, they're going to tell you Gor Mahia, they're going to tell you FC, they're going to tell you Homeboys, Shah or Ulinzi, they're going to tell you Nairobi City Thunder. These people have fans from when, you know, they're this young to when they become old. If you went to the gym today, you'd see people who played in the 70s still come to the gym.
Yeah.
And they're not coaches, they're not officials, they're not players, but they're there because they're what fans, right? So you grow your awareness to these people as a short-term goal. Long-term, the more people have you top of mind, the more people know about you, the easier it is for them to pick you up. You know, if it's a supermarket shelf or aisle, it becomes easier for them to pick you because the marketing is psychological. So mentally, somebody has this picture of I saw brand X when I was watching my favorite sport. Can I try it out? Right? And boom, long term, your sales also start to improve. Right? Grow, spend in marketing so that your sales can, because marketing is a support function for sales. Most of these organizations, the bottom line is how much did I sell? What was the NSV this year compared to last year? Or what's the NSV I'm looking at this year in comparison to last year? Did it grow? If it grew, what are some of the campaigns or what are some of the things that marketing did to drive that growth? I kid you not, sports marketing is one of the strategies or campaigns that grows companies' sales. Maybe not directly, maybe not short term, but long term it does.
Long time it does.
Yes.
And when you spoke of the psychological aspects of marketing and all that, I remember there's a time we were in a workshop in Strathmore, and they were bringing an aspect of psychological, what you see versus what you don't see, and what you are rubbing shoulders with daily, but you are not bringing awareness that it's there, but it's actually there.
Subconsciously.
Yeah, subconsciously. So there's a specific product, I won't mention its name. It's always in Carrefour, and it's where a certain company gets to collect some things for recycling. So I never used to see that collection bin. But now when we're in that workshop and it was mentioned,
Now you see it every day.
I see it every day, like it used to be here. I pass here every time. So there is
also a theory of the red car or something.
Yes.
You're driving to work and you get to the office, somebody asks, did you see any red car? No. But when you drive back home, you're going to see like 1 million of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the same concept. The human being, I mean, everything starts here, then goes everywhere else. So some of these things, and you see the best marketing campaigns or marketing strategies that usually work are those ones that are not in your face, right? It's there subtly, nobody's even mentioning it, but subconsciously you keep seeing it. Your mind registers, till one day you just become a consumer of it and you don't know how you are.
Yeah.
In the developed countries, we see how huge sports marketing is. We look at something like the Super Bowl series, and already for 2025 it's already like sold out. What makes corporates fight for such opportunities in sports in such developed countries, and what can be done here at home?
Super Bowl. You want us to talk that big? Well, it's a good example because look at the views it gets. First of all, the stadium is sold out, like you've rightly said. It's sold out. Super Bowl is not coming anytime soon. I think it's what?
Towards the end of
maybe think, okay, I don't know. Let's not lie to the viewers. But it's not this weekend for sure.
It's not.
Right? But it's sold out already. And they already have brand partners. Because of the viewers, because of the fans who come to patronize. Because we said most of these fans don't even come there for the game. They come there for the experience, right? So, and that's in the stadium. Go outside of the stadium. We'll go back to the stadium. Go outside of the stadium. In terms of TV viewership or online viewership, we can't even say the numbers. I think the numbers are there. They're huge. They're in the hundreds of millions, right?
Yeah.
I'm yet to find a marketer who would not be impressed by such numbers. You have, okay, let's give it 100 million eyeballs. Who in the right mind wouldn't want to have their brand or a product associated with that? 100 million eyeballs. That's now actually, again, outside. I mean, some of the things that, brands want, right? When we talked about the experience last year, but one, there's some people who would want to watch Super Bowl just to see the halftime gig, who is performing today, right? Who is the artist that is going on stage this time round. So there are people who will stay awake or wake up to watch that. There are people who are going to go to the stadium because of that, because of the experience, not because of those big, huge men running with the oval ball. Even though there are some people who are there because, that's their main thing.
Yeah.
And that's what has brought all of us together within that stadium. That's what has brought us together. Hapo kwa YouTube, the views, online views, that's what brings us together. But all these other things, work together to give brands what they want, and that's the viewership. Yeah. So in terms of what can we do in the Kenyan space? Well, they say if it's not broken, don't fix it. If you already have the cheat code, they're doing it. It works for them. Let's just copy paste, right? Like I said, or like we always say, what brands want is your fans, not your players as a team. It's the access to your fans who are their consumers or their target audience. That's who they want. That's why they're going to give you whatever they're going to give you and partner with you. Of course, also all these other things have to align with their brand values. So your brand values, your ethos as a team, they also have to align with their values, right? But ultimately, what they want is access to your fans. So grow your fan base. So our teams need to grow their fan base. 2-3 years ago, no one used to go to Nyayo Stadium. Let me say 2-3 seasons ago. No one used to go to Nyayo Stadium or Kasarani to watch basketball. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
We'd go play. Once you're done playing, you go shower, you go freshen up, go back into the gym, watch the next game. If it's interesting, go home. Or go to Nairobi West, or go wherever.
Yeah.
Last season, the beautiful thing that was born called Nairobi City Thunder with 20 spots. They used to fill up the gym. When was the last time we filled up the gym, bro? I think it was South Sudan versus Kenya.
Yeah.
Right? That's the last time we filled the gym. They filled up the gym, all their games, the whole season. And this is why I say, when you do things professionally, it changes. You'll see the spike, because other teams, when they play, they don't fill up the gym.
Yeah.
They don't fill up the gym. As long as Thunder is not there, that gym is empty. So there are teams that are trying, not to take away from the game that we love. There are teams that are trying, and again, like we said, it's a journey. So we saw people starting to course correct and change, and start to adapt some of the things that we talked about, and hopefully this season is going to be different. You know, I want to see other teams when they're playing, they also fill up the gym. And it's not hard, it's not rocket science. The federation just needs to give an experience. Then the team that's playing, remember we mentioned on your socials, tell your fans, your fan base, that we have a game this Saturday, we have a game on this Friday night. Invite them to come. If you have the money, give them your merchandise. If you don't, make some merchandise and send it to them. They're gonna come, right? When they come, corporates are gonna come because they're after those people. Yeah, it's that simple. So our guys, and I'm gonna use them as an example because they've changed the outlook of basketball. You know,
They have.
For the first time, I saw a few government officials. I'm not gonna mention which positions at the gym. We saw Kasarani being repaired. It was for road to ball, yes, but it was being repaired. It was repaired within what, 3-4 days?
4 days, imagine.
Yeah.
Real quick.
And that's the impact that a lot of sports teams and sports in general can do.
Can do, yeah.
Right? We have this. You mentioned CAF. Because of CAF, we ended up having a whole stadium being built. Probably they've not finished. I don't know if they have. But as through sports, there's a facility that is being constructed. And more of this can happen. That's how impactful sports and sports marketing is. Yeah.
I look at some of the people who have hugest opportunities or teams, and I look at varsity teams playing in any professional league in Kenya, be it rugby, be it basketball, football. Those are teams that can easily rally following and fan base because of the varsity experience. There might be other dynamics coming into it in regards to which product to attract or which corporates will they attract. But I look at the varsity teams as powerhouses or sleeping giants that just need to be awakened. What are some of the things you can speak into that?
You want me to advise universities?
Yes.
On a light note.
Yes.
Yeah, like you said, they have what we call in marketing low-hanging fruits. You have students who are just bumming, at the students' quarters or in their hostels, who you can convert into your fans. We saw it happen. It's happened in the past. You get, and I think this is where you mentioned sustainability or sustenance, right? We need to, when we start something, keep at it. Don't stop. Don't stop because you've now started seeing the numbers. A lot of marketers, a lot of decision makers usually fall into the trap or the trap of, they've spent or they've done all this hard work. They're starting to see the fruits. Then they pull back or they step back. Then, naturally, also the fruits are going to start drying up, right? So we need to keep at it. It's very easy. Very, very easy. Most campuses have notice boards. They have class WhatsApp groups. They have student portals. They have student groups or pages where they can reach themselves. They have alma mater pages. It's just talk to them. Communication. Just communicate to them. Tell them, we have this game. We have this training session. That's also very important because training session, it's easier for you to come and meet and greet the athletes. Again, most of these athletes are celebrities or influencers, as the Gen Zs would call them today, in their own right. Right? You've been a sports personality. You've been a sports athlete. You've been an athlete. I don't know if you still are.
I'm trying to come back 2025. I'm trying to.
Yes.
Last year I tried, but I got an injury. Things didn't work out. Yeah. So this year I'm trying to. I have a resolution.
Let's hold him to it.
Yes.
So during when it's game time, when we're going to play, you're usually focused on the game. And you'll find that the most passionate players or athletes zeroing on the game.
Yeah.
All these side ninis, it's not there per se. Maybe they're gonna do it after the game. Mostly if they won, because also if they lost, the mood might be foul. So the best place for a meet and greet for these people is during training sessions,
yeah.
Or just say today is at meet and greet, right? I know so many young people who'd want to sit and talk to Griffin Ligari, right?
True.
I know a lot of people who'd want to sit and talk to Eliud Kipchoge, talk to Ferdinand Omanyala, right? Talk to me and soccer. Talk to a player in the football world,
Yes.
right? And because how sports is, during games we're usually super focused. Some of us. It wouldn't be the ideal time, but at training sessions that's the best time. Make this communication easily available to the students. Then when the students know that I can meet a certain player who's a student within my club, within my varsity team, I can come and I can show up, right? I'm not saying that they're not as busy as other people. Yes, they are. Classwork is hard, schoolwork is hard, but they have time. They can meet these players. They can come to the games. Sports departments in these varsity teams, please. I know it's costly, but it pays. Get the school buses or the varsity buses, campus buses, to ferry funds to the sports stadia, whether it's for soccer or football, whether it's for basketball, whether it's for volleyball, whether it's for rugby and the likes. It pays because there's KCSE results came out yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's like a boy somewhere and like a girl somewhere who's scored a B+ or an A or a C+. Okay, let's talk about the C+. They're going to go into university, right?
Yes.
So if JB doesn't give them a university that they want, and they are given the chance by their parents or their guardians to choose, right? Yeah. You need to be top of mind, and how, and we talked about it. How else are you going to be top of mind to a young person? They need to see that when I go to that campus, it's full of vibes. It's not books only. Come on, it needs to be vibes. How do you show your campus is full of vibes? ZTech showed us the whole of last season. USIU have showed us in the past. ANU have showed us in the past. Strathmore have showed us in the past. I think they just need to go back to showing us. Even Nairobi University have showed us in the past. They just need to go back to showcasing what they can offer as a university.
As a university. MKU has also done it last season with, I think they were trying to do something with Willis Raburu and some of those evening stuff.
Yes.
Yes, just to create the good vibes, as you said it. 2025, how do you see sports marketing evolving and,
Beyond.
Prediction. The last time I predicted and said in the next 5 years, sports is going to be huge in Kenya. People laughed at us.
Yes.
2025, I see, like I've mentioned, I see it being a good year for the sports fraternity. I see a lot of corporates or a lot of brands coming on board to partner with some of these sports teams. So in that essence, I think sports marketing is going to go a notch higher. We've already seen certain brands being on jerseys of certain teams. That's also going to grow because I mean that's the ultimate visibility that's the first point of visibility you give to any brand. So 2025 is going to be huge for the sports fraternity.
And also we are in the BL.
Yes, we finally, yes, Thunder, you guys are the ones. You guys have taken us to BL as Kenya.
As Kenya.
Yes, as
Basketball.
Kenya. As Kenya, yes.
I hope guys are bidding for that position to be on the left, on the right chest of the jersey. I can imagine. As we get into the quickfire segment, but before we do that, what role can sports marketing play more so in fostering youth talent? Now in the long-term game, fostering youth talent and community engagement.
What role would sports marketing play?
Yes.
I think it creates a room for these young people to aspire to want to get into marketing. I mean, into sports. Sports marketing elevates some of these athletes to, them being, for lack of a better word, it elevates them. Personal growth, it grows them. It injects money into sports teams, and as such, sports teams are able to take care of their athletes and their players, and in turn, they're able to take care of themselves and their family. It trickles down. Then you see somebody in the hood, a young boy or young girl or a young man, a young lady, looking at this guy and they're saying, "Ish, that guy was just here the other day. Today he's driving this car. He's living here. He's taking care of the family or the parents, the siblings." And they aspire to do the same. So another thing I think sports marketing would go a long way in doing is it is going to help in terms of capacity building for personal branding for our athletes. I think this is a challenge to us marketers. To try and, if we partner with a team, let's also try and get courses or workshops where we can help these athletes grow their personal brand, right? And with that, be able to further push our brand as a corporate, and we could claim it's CSR. Yeah. And with that, we can also partner with them. It's a bit sad to see. Okay, not sad. It just means there's room for growth. Corporates are partnering with teams, but not at the same level that they're partnering with athletes, individual athletes. So there's like a gap there that the corporate world can help, or the sports marketing, corporate world will help bridge so that we become a 360 space. Yes.
And speaking of workshops on personal branding for athletes,
Yes.
there's one we are hosting.
Ah, nice.
Third term of this year.
What do you mean third term of this year?
The third quarter. Sorry, sorry, man. I'm thinking high school.
Stop hanging out with students. I know you mentor them.
Yeah.
Don't become a mentee.
Don't become a mentee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We'd like to have you as a facilitator.
I would love to. I'd love to be there. And I've always wanted to help young people or athletes build their personal branding. However, this is my excuse. I hope it flies. I've not gotten the time, and I've not gotten the opportunity or the platform to do that. I know we keep saying social media is a huge platform and huge touch point to talk to people, but I've not come around to doing it. So maybe this is going to.
Now you have a platform.
Thank you. I'd love to.
Let's work and make it maybe a 2-day or 3-day thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, let's look forward to that, and I'm excited about that.
Yes.
On to the Quickfire segment.
Wow, you're there already.
Yes. Favorite sporting event you've attended?
When? Entirely or?
Entirely.
So I'll give you two.
Yes.
One is offline. WRC, you know. Come on. Safari rally. Goes without saying. Mad vibes. Online, I think the road to Bal for me last year was quite. It was emotional, in the sense that we've tried as a country. We've tried, I think, 4 times before and fell short. And on the 5th time, a team that, first of all, has never won the KBF championship.
Yep.
You know, a couple of seasons they came close. They reached the finals, but then, fell short. So to see them last season win that championship, and not only win it, but win it in style by going undefeated, right? That was emotional for me because I have also played for a self-sponsored team my entire career. And to see a team that was self-sponsored grow into and morph into, attracting all these partnerships and investors was beautiful. And not only that, but they went a step further and went to the road to Bal, and not only conquered it, but again, they conquered it in style. I think they played about more than 8 games.
Yeah, about. Yeah.
More than 8 years altogether. Yeah, from I think was it Sweet 16 to Final 8 or something.
Yes.
They played about 8 games or even more and only lost 1. And we headed to Bal as a country, as standard. They're headed to Bal, but we as a country, Kenya, we're headed to Bal. I think that was beautiful.
It was.
Yeah,
It was. I remember that night watching that game, after the final whistle, I went crazy at home. My neighbor came and knocked. Is everything okay? I'm like, yes. I'm just celebrating. Like, what are you watching? It's basketball. What's happening? So I had to fill him up.
Yeah. I hope you invited him back. Let's watch. I'm at the final
It
whistle.
was at the final whistle, so I went like, yes.
You only made noise at the final. I was making noise the whole game. Making noise when they started recovering. Then Thunder remembered, oh yeah, fellas, we have some job that we need to take care of. And grew the lead again.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
It was.
It was beautiful. Yes.
One word to describe Kenyan sports.
Magical. Yes.
Magical Kenya.
So you see, and the only reason I'll say magical is the way we've not even, goozed or touched, even like we're talking about the cake, we are still at the icing. And you see Kenyan sports and Kenyan athletes dominating,
True.
not only in Kenya, but globally, right? It's magical. Remember, sports science. We are nowhere near achieving, or realizing sports science in Kenya, but we still get to, triumph in the global stage.
True.
That's That's magical.
It's super magical.
Yeah.
You see the Kiptums, you see the Sevens.
Yes.
You know, now it's a whole
Sevens.
group of young players.
Yes, who would have thought? You see the team list and you're like, are they going to?
Then they go there
boom,
and-
they go and beat South Africa in their first match.
Beautiful. Biggest brand in global sports, in your opinion?
Ah,
I'm putting you on the spot.
Nike.
Nike.
Nike goes without saying. Nike.
Most underrated athlete, marketing opportunity?
Most underrated athlete or
Yeah, most underrated athlete. Who you think should be?
up there?
Yeah.
Do I need to choose a sports discipline?
No. It's open.
It's open.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the quick fire segment.
You're thinking.
Yes. I'd say Ariel Local.
Very local.
I'd like to see him partner with a brand. He recently did partner with a clothing brand, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I think I saw something. I'm always on socials. I saw something like that. If it's not, when you're editing, you're cutting, put there, Koech, it wasn't Okal. No, but I think he partnered. But I'd love, because I've seen him grow from when he started playing basketball at Nakuru into KPA, into, all over Africa and back to Kenya.
Yeah.
And how his social media presence. Tell me of any basketballer who's present like that.
Locally,
Exactly. Yeah.
I agree. I agree with Okal.
So,
And he has
what is yours?
most underrated athlete. Yes. For now, I'll go with Okal.
As very diplomatic.
But taking it out of basketball, I think the most underrated athlete, though he has retired, is of our time, Andrew Amonde. Andrew Amonde. Yeah.
That's true. Assistant coach Andrew Amonde, 17.
Yes.
And I mean, you could see what he's done with the
sevens team. Yeah.
What all of them have done, but he's part of it. And actually, again, what he's also doing with KCB rugby.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's still, working with the young lads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also don't know why he's retired, because he can still pack a punch.
He can, but
If you're a winger and you're coming, and you see a Mondo in front of you, are you going through, or are you stepping? Are you passing the rock?
I'll pass the rock. What do you mean? I can't afford to face him.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think he was looking at maybe the international kind of competition in the seventh circuit. I mean, it's. Whew.
I don't know that one.
I mean, the teams, they are changing people so fast.
Yes.
Yeah. You go to sports brand?
Nike.
Yes. I thought you'd say Jordan.
No. Here's a funny thing. I've never played with Jordans.
Never.
Never. I've never even owned a pair of Jordans.
What?
Yes. Because the ones I bought, I didn't even stay with them a week. I gave them out. Not because I don't like them, or I don't fancy them, or they're not good, but because I don't feel at that level. They call him the Black Jesus.
Yeah. We have a segment we're starting this year as we finalize, and it's called the funny sports marketing kind of segment for us right now.
Yes.
If sports marketing were a sport, which position would you play and why? If it was a sport.
I'd play the copywriter's position.
A copyright.
Yeah. So that I could tell people off. Just trash talk the entire time.
I saw that's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'd be the copywriter for sure.
Copywriter.
Yeah.
You can't catch me.
Look at you, as big as you are, you can't even guard me.
What's the funniest slogan you've ever had pitched for a sports campaign?
You're putting me on the spot. You're putting me on the spot. And because of that, I'm not going to answer. So I'm going to say, you know, when I think Adidas passed up to take up Jordan as part of their brand, that was funny.
That was funny.
Yes, look at Jordan today. It's a Nike brand, right? But it's up here with the Nikes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you realize this is the mother brand. You're supposed to be like a baby, but you're here with the mother brand.
You're there with the mother brand.
Yes. So I think they just dropped the ball.
Yeah.
So it's ha to them.
They regret it to date.
Probably.
If you could market a product for an alien sports league,
Oh my God.
what will it be? Now that we are having videos of aliens coming down, maybe they want to play sports.
I think I would market beauty products to them. You know, face masks, foundation. Because, oh my. Hey, they say those guys are brighter, smarter than us, but wow, they don't look it.
They don't.
But looks can be deceiving.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yes. I think you need to answer the funny segment as well.
Now, you know, the problem is I'm not a marketer, so I don't know. I don't know these positions.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
You are a brand yourself. As Jermaine, as Wima Sports. Those are two brands. Right? And I know, yes, you have a team that does the marketing for you, but you work hand in hand with them. So that means you understand a bit of marketing. So go.
Kidogo tu.
Tell us what kidogo you do.
Which position I would play?
Yes.
The content creator.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the position I'd play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You've said that, and I've remembered, growing up, when we were still young and we were playing basketball in high school. And the coach would use things from all over the place, or the ground, to draw up a play.
Yeah, stones, balls,
exactly.
sticks.
Yeah, I know where I went. Yeah.
So I will be the content creator.
Nice.
That's
pretty safe, but nice. You say, let me stick to, what I know.
What I know, yeah.
If it's not broken.
If not, maybe the camera person.
Again, you're still playing within home. You don't want to leave the backyard.
Funniest slogan that I've ever had pitched for a sports campaign. Hey, hapo niko blank. Yeah.
Yeah, now you see why I had to go where I went.
Yes. Funniest slogan I've ever had pitched.
You're thinking.
I'm thinking. I'll skip that one for today.
Okay.
Stay tuned to the comment section, you'll see it. Viewers, if you could market a product for an alien, the product I would make for aliens, I would make for them a tailor-made helmet.
Just say beauty product.
Tailor-made helmet.
Why?
That
fits their head, big heads.
Yeah. And it gives space for brands to come and put themselves on their helmets there. So that's what I'll create for them. And also safety, since I'm a safety person.
It's sort of out of home. It's a place where it's a billboard.
It's a billboard.
A walking billboard.
Yes. Okay. And they fly all over. So
wow.
Yeah. So you'll be seeing. That's what I'll create.
Okay. Nice.
Anyway, Joe, was nice having you a second time.
As usual.
And always a great pleasure. Thank you for the nuggets that you always throw out here. And you saw the ripple effect. You're excited to see the ripple effect of this one.
Yes.
And we are wishing you the very best.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward, third quarter.
Third
Yeah.
term, as you said.
Third term.
Yeah. Please,
Yes.
please. It's been one of the boxes that I've not been able to tick. So you'd be doing a solid one. Yeah.
And as we are parting short,
Yes.
I'd like you to, speak to a growing brand in sports. This is a team, community team, growing, and give them 2 advices on what they need to check in their 2025 bucket list for being able to attract sponsorship and all that. Yeah.
Okay. So ideally, you want me to do a recap?
Yes.
So, 2.
Yeah.
Social media presence. I can't say this enough. Then build your brand, offering around brands that can easily take up sports. That makes sense, right?
Yes.
It made sense in my head. So social media presence, right? Like, when I say presence, I'm not saying just have a Facebook page or an IG page or a TikTok page, but be there actively. It's not hard. We do it in our personal pages, personal spaces. So do that for the team, and you'll definitely start to see people taking notice. Then grow your brand to align or attract brands that are easily, that can align with sports, right? Beverages, tech, insurance, right? And such spaces. Yeah.
This is a good one.
Yes.
And it's the last one for sure.
Okay. I thought they were all good, but yes.
If Mariga calls you today,
Please say deputy vice president.
deputy
Is
vice
it deputy president? I'm a vice president.
He's the vice chair.
No.
Is it? It's president.
No,
vice
this is,
deputy.
please
deputy.
check yourself. Well, people are usually emotional with titles, bro.
Deputy Vice President of Football Kenya.
Yes.
Vice President FKF Pale.
Yes.
If he was to call you today and he needs you to help with marketing football in Kenya, what will you tell him?
First of all, I'd wonder, where did he get my number? Then I think I'd take up the challenge, but I would ask to be given other resources. Only because in terms of football, there's a lot that needs to be done. So it's the most popular sport in Kenya, right?
Yeah.
It's not the most viewed sport in Kenya, unfortunately. So there'd be a lot of work. So if he called me, I'd take up the challenge, but I'd also ask for some more resources to be able to
Actualize.
Yes, because it's not football, man. The fans, the players, the whole ecosystem of football in Kenya is okay. Not even in Kenya, just all over.
All over the place.
It's not easy. So you'd have to really impress.
understand it more
Yes.
and work together.
Definitely, once again, thank you so much. Viewers, until next time, it's your host here at Wima Sports and signing out. Salute.